A little bit. I can a little bit. Are we live? All right. We're live I think we're live now. Jeez, were we just talking?
Are we
yes,
live? We're
live.
live. This is how we do it, as Montel Jordan famously once
May
said.
he rest in peace, Montel Jordan. I know he's not dead, but I just want him to get a good night's sleep.
That's so wrong. Like, what's Montel Jordan's sleep number? That's a good question. It's good, something to figure out. We have the Sklar brothers, and this is the Sklarantine Comedy Hour, where we bring up friends of ours to do fantastic comedy, and then we just pitch and tag. We hang out with them afterwards. It is loose. It is fun. In the time where we probably would have been on the road right now.
Yeah, or out performing with these people. We know a lot of comedians are definitely missing performing, and this is as close as we can come. We know there are a lot of fans out there who are like, man, I missed that live experience. Well, we've got it for you. This is part of a bunch of shows, by the way, that JFL is doing. Want to hit you to a couple of those before we get into this show. We do this show every Friday. We're going to do it on Mondays. They got new bits for the Afterworld, hosted by Rosebud Baker. You want to check that out on Mondays at 5 p.m.
It's always good to be prepared for the rapture with comedy.
That's
I'll
true.
say that.
Wednesdays, characters welcome. If you're a character and you just want to watch, do that. That's a lot of fun UCB type stuff.
Great sketch and great characters stuff. That's on Wednesdays. Our show is on Friday. And Sklarantine Comedy Hour.
And we want to let you know that you can tip the comics, donate to the artists. A lot of these people have lost a lot of their income because we just can't go on the road and do shows. Suggested amount is $5.
Here's how you do it. You go to tickly.co. That's TIKLY.co/just for laughs.
And if you can't yourself give, that's not a problem. You can still enjoy the show. If you have lots to give, we're not going to tell you stop at $5. And we appreciate you. We just appreciate you guys for being here. This has been an interesting time for us. Randy and I found an old.
Well, first things first. Yeah, we need to start.
We have to start.
We need to start by congratulating Grimes and Elon Musk on their brand new baby.
A equals 12 dash AE S dash.
No, it's AE dash 12. I mean, whatever it is, it's a simple name to remember. Whatever it is, it's not going to get this kid beat up in high school.
No.
It is. They named their kid. The weird, like, there's no way that this name. First of all, how do we find out about it? Because they tweeted about it like 30 minutes. 30 minutes after you have a kid, you should be holding it.
You should be bonding with the child.
Trying to understand what this new life that I created.
Creating an attachment, not trying to get your tweets out there. And so Grimes puts out on her feed
and a beautiful message about, I'm so excited about this child. And then
we named it after our
favorite aircraft, the SR-17.
If you're naming your baby after yours and your partner's favorite aircraft, you're too rich.
Right.
But you've made too much money.
It means you've been on so many aircraft
that you have a favorite,
and that you have other aircraft that if people were to be on it, it would be the greatest experience of their lives. But to you,
you're like, ugh,
not my favorite.
Oh my God.
This is not my favorite. So
I wouldn't write home about it.
Right. So SR-17 is what she said. That's what she said. To which Elon Musk then tweeted. Didn't have the conversation.
Meanwhile, they're probably sitting she's probably up in her Craftmatic bed, baby being breastfed by a wet nurse.
And he tweeted at her.
She's just listening to the tick, 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 tick.
He tweeted at her SR-71, but yes, throwing so much shade her way.
So much shade, she doesn't have to wear sunscreen for a year.
Because it's like, yes. That's
how dare you after making a person come out of you? How dare you mix two numbers up in our favorite plane?
Yeah, like we tweeted about this show tonight and tweeted guests that were on 4 weeks ago. So and we
haven't had a baby.
I didn't have just a baby come out of my vagina.
I'm not even menstruating right now.
Okay, so and that she said, yes, I'm recovering from surgery. By the way, this is happening on Twitter.
They're not talking to each other. They're tweeting out at each other.
Do they not follow each other on Twitter? That this could have happened in DM. I'm just trying to understand.
She doesn't know that it's S-71.
Yeah.
SR-71.
SR, Jay. Get your aircraft right.
I'm sorry.
If she doesn't know that,
then
to me, I just love the fact that they want to look at this child, that the love between the two of them has created. I mean, I love that is not strong enough for them to get married.
No.
But it is a love that caused them to create. That's the product of their love is this baby. They want to look in its cherubic eyes, and it is a beautiful baby.
Gorgeous baby.
And be reminded of the plush leather of the SR-71.
Not the SR-17,
mind you, because that's a piece of shit.
That's borderline blasphemy.
Piece of garbage.
I'd be like, do you hate, like he's tweeting out, what, do you hate this kid?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
SR-17.
It's almost like, what? Maybe we should have named him DC-10 so you could have remembered it.
Exactly.
How dare we come up with something so complicated?
I love that.
All right. Well, I was going to tell an old story about an old bit.
Should we tell an old story about it?
Let's do one more. As we allow more people to come into this thing,
we'll take the bullet right here.
Here's the deal. I went back, Rand, and I found an old DVD that had one of the first bits that we ever did as comedians that we liked. 1996. So 95. I mean, I watched the second time we ever got on stage and did comedy, and it was terrible. But it 1995. So this was from 1995. We wrote a bit about how and this was born out of something that happened. There was the two of us and another guy three of us sharing a one-bedroom apartment in New York City.
We built a wall, 2 bedrooms, and in our apartment we were watching TV and we saw a little mouse scurry across,
a little gray blur into a closet, and we were like, "Oh my God, we've got a mouse! We've got a mouse!" And so then the bit that we wrote was that the mouse. I don't know if you've had a mouse before in your house or apartment. Having a mouse is like having the worst roommate ever,
right?
Because and it's. Let me just explain this guy. So the other night, what was it, like a week ago?
Yeah.
This is the other night. I bought a bag of Cheetos, the cheesy snack. I wasn't that hungry, so I ate like 5 or 6.
Put the chip clip on it,
put it back in the cabinet. I come back the next day, and there's like 3 left.
What?
3 left? Like finish the bag. Don't just leave. Don't put.
What did you say?
What did I say? I said, did you eat my Cheetos? I asked him if he ate the Cheetos. I asked him if he ate the Cheetos, and he said no.
I said no,
and we both looked at each other. And we were like, "Fucking mouse! Fucking mouse ate the Cheetos!" And then it's not the cost of the Cheetos. $2. I could afford another bag of Cheetos. I could buy 10 bags of Cheetos.
It's the principle.
And throw 2 away on the way home from the grocery store.
It's the principle.
It's the fact that you left enough in there to make me think that there was enough in there for me to enjoy, and then you leave it in there. Dick move. The other day, how about the fact that he's always walking around talking about Atlanta?
Yeah.
That time that he lived down in Atlanta.
You don't care. It's like
great. No one spent time in Atlanta.
That's awesome. You're here now.
The other night I was like, hey, I went to this great new restaurant.
Italian restaurant.
And he's like, oh, it's like the place that I used to live down in Atlanta called The Grill.
The Grill? It's not even Italian. That's American bistro.
Are you listening to what I'm saying?
Don't be such a dick.
I said Italian food.
Don't be a dick.
The worst. And then we also talked about how he liked the cockroach. Anyway, it was really a super fun memory for me. Of course, wrapped up in that was the freedom we had. Like just to see a room full of people laughing with each other, just to see, the Lower East Side of New York City as that scene was burgeoning in the mid-90s. It made me very, very happy. And that it reminded me how much we love comedy. Yep. How much we love hanging out with comics. And that's why we do this show. So I say let's get to our first comic, damn it. She's great. She's a friend of ours. She just recorded a special for HBO Max.
Yep.
Is that correct?
It's going to be out in August. And we saw her basically running a bunch of that material at the Comedy Store.
This is the highest compliment I can give your first guest. We always try and stick around and watch her set because we love pitching her tags. That just means we love her material so much. Give it up for Beth Stelling. Beth, are you here?
I'm here.
Yay.
My first live stream stand-up show.
How do you feel? You have a good background behind you.
I love your background.
Yeah. Did I do a different background, or can you just see my little office?
I love your little office. I'm like, some work's getting done in there.
I had a rat once too. I think I talked about it in Chicago on my first album, and it was like when your bit reminded me of it, and I was like, it's eating everything. Oh, it won't put the toilet seat down. I'm getting care packages from Shredder.
I love it.
He's on Hamster X all weekend. You're like, God.
Okay. So I'm gonna just open with like a new joke.
Yes, please.
So I'm from Dayton, Ohio, which is, we call it the birthplace of aviation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, North Carolina claims first in flight. It's a whole unnecessary controversy, but the Wright brothers were the first to fly. I feel like we need to redo all of the firsts around our country.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get a first sign if you were the only one allowed to do it. Like if you let a gal have a bicycle shop back in 1892, the seats would have been comfier sooner.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Now, my whole family still lives in Dayton. My 2 older sisters, my mom. I'm very close with my 2 older sisters. I met them through my mom back in the late 80s. And we've been through a lot together as kids. Kids are diseased. I personally love disease. I craved it even. First disease I got and wanted was chickenpox. I remember my mom would drop us off at her friend Sue's, and Sue's daughter Molly had chickenpox, and my mom said, "Nobody touch Molly," and I said, "No problem." And then I went in and I touched Molly a lot, and I got the chickenpox. It worked. Got to stay home from school, sweets, all of that. And the next thing I wanted and got was lice. Thankfully, I brought lice upon my family. There had been an outbreak at preschool. And again, my mom was like, "Do not try on any hats." And I went into preschool. I beelined it for the dress up station. Sure. And I was like, "I'm a chef. I have a bonnet on. This is a cowboy hat." Your girl got lice. And, then my sister Hannah went up to me, and she went ahead and she got scabies. And we all got scabies because when you get a disease from the Middle Ages, it's trying to take out a group. We survived. It wasn't worth it. Like, it still haunts me. I feel like my sister got it from a middle school sleepover. She shared a sleeping bag with another woman. And if my sister were gay, like, absolutely 100% get scabies for you to like discover your power. But she's not. Like, nothing fun happened in that bag. We got a non-sexually transmitted disease as a family. It's very upsetting. I have one more, maybe.
Yeah, bring it,
and then we'll talk to you.
Okay, Mother's Day is coming up, and I had this ex that would deny having mommy issues, but then he got a mug made with a photo of us on it. I feel like that's the number 1 Mother's Day gift of the year.
Yes.
And he would only drink milk out of it. He also called. He would always say that I look like an old Hollywood movie star, and now I'm like, how old are we talking? Like, your mom's old? And scene.
That's
so good.
Those are pretty much all new.
I love all the new.
The lice is obviously old.
I have a tag for your lice thing.
Oh, good.
So I put on the chef's hat and I turned to everybody and said, "Guess what I'm making? A big bowl of lice stew." All right.
I love that one. I feel like the mom, like your ex-boyfriend having mommy issues, you can add like 12 to that. That's a joke bucket that never stops. Like, he stopped wanting to, he asked me to drop him off like a block away from where he wanted, from the mall, from the bar. Like, I was taking him to the bar and he asked me to drop him off a block away. And, he always got frustrated when he helped me program my VCR or whatever.
I think also, I love the joke of how old. I think you can start to give examples. Like, how old of a Hollywood star? I mean,
like,
are we talking
Diane Keaton today?
Betty White today, or
like which? Like, is it Diane Keaton from Something's Gotta Give? That's like the edge of what I'll let you have.
It's also good. Let me ask you, how are you? Because we did a little game show thing with you that was so much fun. You and us, Jimmy Pardo, Sean O'Connor, Julian McCullough, and a couple other people. It was Nikki Glazer. It was so much fun I loved just goofing around. Are you missing that camaraderie because you love to hang out with other comics as much as we do?
Yes, I think that's like the only reason I'm here with you guys right now.
We
that's
love
so
it.
sweet.
We were looking forward to it.
No, I
What
do. That was really fun. I also just find myself like my time management is awful. The days are flying by. Like I just did the exercise bike and I'm still sweating. And I remember thinking like, oh, I'll take a shower before this show. And it's like,
Yeah.
now's the show. And I like just am glistening.
You're wonderful. I mean, I'm so excited for the special. When is it going to come out? So
They're
that people,
telling me August. It was initially, it got pushed because of the pandemic. And so the HBO Max platform comes out this month, end of this month. And I think you can get 12 months for a really good price. So during the initial whatever. So it's supposed to come out in August. I hope
Awesome.
I get
I can't wait. Again, your material that you did that we saw you kind of doing right before that weekend you went to Minneapolis to shoot it at the Varsity Theater was so good. You were so on it. I just can't wait to see it. It's going to be an awesome hour, and I love those guys over at Team Coco. They're just so good who produced that from you. I'm
absolutely. Sure. And your tag is in it, so you'll be happy.
That's all we care about, actually.
Thank you, Beth Stelling.
Thanks, Beth.
For having me, guys. It was really nice to meet you.
We loved having you.
Beth Stelling.
She had a mouse pit. She had a rat pit. We had a mouse pit. Really, that's like when you it's a great project. It's like they literally like struck it's like it's just speaking of your face. That's not motivating. That's like any strike comedy book. People in comedy, I think, and it's a lot of people from, I believe it's this guy, I know you. We just shot that, he he was amazing. He's one of my favorite ghostwriters and storytellers. It's part about Nick Thune is that he was an amazing one-line ghostwriter. Just Okay, we're back. Sorry about that.
This is how popular Nick Thune is. When we mention his name,
He shuts down the internet.
he breaks the internet. Let's just bring him on before that happens again.
Yes, let's bring in our buddy. He's amazing. I loved his special, Good Guy. I believe it's called Good Guy, but it was shot at the Bell House.
But what we were saying was that he went from being a great, like, short joke writer to suddenly being like, I'm going to tell 15-minute long stories that are genius.
and just become an amazing storyteller. He's with us right now. Nick Thune, welcome to the show. What's up, buddy? Sorry about that.
Hey, gentlemen, can you hear me?
Of
Yes,
course,
we
yes.
got you.
We got you, brother.
All right. Well, what an honor. What an honor.
Yeah.
You know,
Right?
I was just thinking too, like 3 is odd, right?
Yeah.
There's just something off about it.
Yeah.
Number.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is an odd number.
Very.
I think one thing that worries me about doing this set is I've been writing a lot of new material, but if you don't know this guy named Jason that works at a 7-Eleven around the corner from me, then you won't get it.
Try it. Let's try it.
Let me just say, I kind of know him, so I'm hoping that I kind of get it.
Okay, got it. Yeah. So, by the way, if you know Jason, you're gonna love this stuff.
Okay.
First of all, my favorite. You know how Kramer has that move where he like walks in the room and like does like his like shaky thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason has one of those, and it's so funny because basically his like laugh and applause line, if we had a sitcom, would be me. And I always said, I'm the setup guy. I always set him up. I always say, hey, can I use the bathroom? And then here comes his line, which is ridiculous. Bathroom is employees only. Like clockwork, he nails it. And I'm just dude, what are you doing at 7-Eleven? That is, wow. And here's what else I think is interesting about JJ is he will not tell you which car is his, no matter how many times you ask. it's like, listen, man, I know it's the Corolla. Just tell me. And he's like, no, I'm just, and I say, it's always here when you're here. So I'm doing the math here. And it seems like you drive a Corolla, buddy. And he says, I just can't tell you that. So we always have a good crack up about that.
Yeah.
You know, it's, isn't it like, I think people that serve in the military, so amazing, right? You know, I mean, to be able to do that and to serve your country like that. I sometimes feel bad for them though, because they only have 1 420 a day.
Yeah.
You know, with military time.
Yeah.
So, and it's early, you know, those guys have to get up early and, you know, 1620 just isn't the same. So yeah, you know, I feel bad for those guys about that. That's a new one that I probably won't mention again.
Nice. We like it. I like it.
Okay, so what happens, boys, when the fire starts up and you catch on fire?
Stop, drop, and roll.
Hit the ground.
Right. Don't you think they should throw another stop on the end of that?
Stop.
Because people drop, roll, and then eventually stop. Because people are, I mean, if you look up the rolling deaths, I wouldn't be surprised if it's pretty fucking high. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rolling deaths and high. 420.
Yeah. And people are always, you know, like that's a big thing too with people trying to sell kitchen stuff, you know, like here's a new type of thing. You just set it and forget it, you know? And they say set it and forget it. And you think, well, it must work with everything, right? Until you get to volleyball, because you got to spike that shit. You bump, you set it, and you spike it. So I think that's another new one that might not go anywhere. How about a couple more?
Yes.
Is that good?
Please.
So I'm a dad. I think you guys can relate to that. Actually, I come from a long line of dads. So, by the way, which, you know, is basically the same with everybody except Jesus. You know, we're holding fingers on that one that it was a God and it wasn't just, you know, some guy that kind of snuck in for the night. Yeah, I am a dad, and she's 6, which is what we named him. she's a good little boy. I'll say that. And you know, I was born 79. I was born December 8th, 79. And I'll tell you what, man, the 70s were fucking crazy. Everybody's shitting their pants. There's tits everywhere. You know, it's just a fucking melee as far as tits go. Just every nap I wake up from, tits are in my face. Like, you know, and people are shitting diapers and even talking about it. Everyone's talking about it. You know, that was the 70s. And then the 80s come around and, you know, everyone's learning how to read and stuff. And what a crazy decade that was. And I guess that's all I got. I don't know. Is that good?
Yeah, that's so good. I have a couple pitches if you want to hear them. If you want any pitches of jokes,
I love them. Yeah.
Okay. So I love she's a good boy. You know what? That's completely wrong. She is gender neutral.
That's good.
I like that, and I love the 70s. You can keep going. 70.
I mean, it was crazy.
No one slept. Nobody slept.
Nobody slept.
Oh God, nobody was sleeping. It's sleeping odd hours, you know.
Yeah. Sleeping odd hours, like
we were up all night. We'd be up all night every night in the 70s.
Up all night every night. Said when we ate, no one used utensils. We just shoved it in our like. It was crazy. You had to strap it down in a car when we were driving.
At some point, I was trying to do like that's good. At some point, I was like, you know, like I barely went into the 80s thing. That's like I'm trying to like, you know, everyone's learning how to spell, and then the 90s come around, and we're all, you know, losing our virginity in a threesome. You know, like trying to find something for like the nine. I don't know. You know, I think keeping it in the 70s.
Keep going. I think the 80s is funny. You're like, everyone was learning how to read. I don't have to tell you guys. You saw Wolf of Wall Street. So,
Yeah.
By the way, Long Line of Dads is just a gem of a joke. That is magic. So perfect. So it's just,
thank you.
I love it. And the Jesus thing too is just great. It's wonderful.
Dude who slipped in. That's just a guy who made
how are you handling it? What are you doing with your days, man? Are you I know you're spending a lot of time with your son, which is awesome. Are you writing? What are you doing? Like, is there any structure to how you create stuff or what?
Well, I'm checking my temperature about every 10 minutes.
Good. Thank God. Thank God.
Oh God, 102 still. It's been like that for 3 days, but yeah, I've got my son, and we are, you know, his biking skills have just upped. I'll tell you that much. We're going around the whole Silver Lake area.
Nice.
But no, riding and stuff, it's kind of great because what else am I going to do? And I do find, if I could get serious here for a second,
sure. Yeah, it is.
Or introspective, but I do feel like there's two things here. There's probably a lot of people that are under the kind of cynical route of, people are like creating more art, but it's probably not good because they're forced to do it, you know, in this quarantine. So they're probably putting out like maybe like 10% good stuff and the rest is just whatever. Mm-hmm. But for me, like, when I put out something that works, I'm not saying it's good. It works with the audience. Yeah. And I eventually will do it on the Tonight Show. Those generally happen in like a minute. You know what I mean? Like that idea comes in a minute, and that only comes when I sit down. So I don't even sit down. Like, I'll have 5 minutes of new material in a month, and I only sat down for 5 separate minutes where I could fully put attention into a subject. And then the jokes turn, they come better. But with all of this time, I think I don't agree with that. I think if you're good, then right now your output must just be ridiculous because
you have time to do it.
Yeah, and you know, that's the thing that holds me back most of the time is I do have time, but there's too much to do. You know,
right.
Like, so then I find things to do, and right now I'm stopping finding things to do, and I'm, you know, creating.
Keep doing it. By the way, was I right? Your special is called Good Guy?
My last one's Good Guy, yeah.
So good. I love that special so
How
much.
can people get that if they want to see it?
Good Guy was just put on YouTube for free by Comedy Central, but it's also on Amazon Prime, along with Folk Hero, my last other special.
Dude, check them out. Nick, thank you for doing this with us. We love you, buddy. I hope to see you around the hood.
Of course. Yeah, love you guys too. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for inviting me.
Awesome. We'll see you soon. Nick Thune, everybody.
Bye.
J of comedy.
Jay Buhner, the hard high five. Hey guys, if you want to donate to the artist that you're seeing, just go to tickly.co, tikly.co/just for laughs. The recommendation is $5. You can do more. You don't have to do any if you don't want it. We're just happy to have you here. We've got 2 more comics. Very excited for these next 2 comics. One of them that we know, and the other one we've just seen the special. The special was so good for comedians around the world. This is a fantastic Canadian comedian. So good. I just love the special.
Oh, hey,
so much.
I bet she's got a moose license and she's shooting
never know
up at the cottage.
You never know. But I want to bring her into the old show right now.
I hope she's holding a cup of Tim Hortons. I really hope.
You never know, but we're going to bring her to the show right now. Fantastic. Would you please welcome Deanne Smith?
Deanne, are you there?
Hi guys.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I don't have a cup of Tim Hortons, but I do have this mason jar, if that means anything.
That's good. I mean, if it's filled with elk's plasma, then it works.
His elk's plasma might be the key to us getting out of this virus. I think that might be it.
We're going to solve it with elk's plasma and your comedy. Go, just hit us with jokes, and if you don't mind, we'll probably pitch you tags at the end.
I'm really happy to do this, and I have gotten increasingly nervous as I've been watching the show because you'll see what I've chosen to talk to you guys about, and I kind of forgot that you were going to be there and potentially offering tags.
Oh, we don't have to. We can just joke around.
No. I would love you to, but it's going to get dirty. Here we go.
Yeah, go.
I've been watching a lot of porn in the quarantine. Well, I haven't really, but I've been trying to. But I do find that, like, as a lesbian, unfortunately, like, a lot of pornographic imagery doesn't really like resonate with me. And it could be because I use words like imagery and resonate, and I think about things in that way. And I'm very much like, am I feeling that? I see stuff, and my nature is just like, I want this, but like, can I get this in iambic pentameter? You know, I just want like a different rhythm to the whole thing. And I don't think I get the feeling that you're supposed to get. Like, I imagine you watch porn and like the feeling I think you're supposed to get when you're watching is like, you just get like, oh, like you get like, this a kind of like, I want to, right? Like I want to bang her. I want to get in. I want to like plow her like a hardworking Ukrainian farmer plows a field to make a living for his family. Like that kind of just like I don't feel, and the kind of imagery that would resonate with me, quite frankly, and this is very personal, but I'd like to see, really, I wish someone was making this. I'd like to see like a hot girl. Okay. Anybody picture whatever that is for you? I'd like to see a hot girl, probably like a little bead of sweat, because she's like bent over, like working it, applying for an arts grant. Just like, yeah, take it. Take money for your art, girl. Take it. That's what I would like to see. That would do it for me. I am open to feedback on whether or not my face was too aggressive when I yelled, take it. And we're already kind of vulnerable, but I'm going to be even more vulnerable. And I ask of your viewers to, just for the next part, just to kind of understand how I'm feeling. I'm feeling fragile a little bit for the next part. So how can I explain? I'm feeling fragile, like contemporary white masculinity, if that means anything to you. So it's like easily broken.
Not to us, but to some people. Yes.
Just be gentle with me for the next part. Treat me like a male judge would treat a sex offender. Like, just don't hold me accountable at all for the next thing that I'm going to say. And I've been reflecting. Luckily, I have a quarantine companion. I'm very happy about that. And I've kind of realized that like my favorite thing to do sexually with a woman is oral sex. I don't know why I said sexually. I think I just went out of my body. My actual favorite thing to do with a woman is kick her ass at Scrabble, if we're going to be honest about this. Just slap down a J on a triple letter tile. But sexually, oral sex, because I like kissing and I like mouth sensations, and I find oral sex is like kissing someone a lot without bothering them. You know what I mean? Like, there's really only so much you can do to someone's face before they're like, get off. But if you take all that energy and move it downtown, they're just kind of like, you're amazing. And you're like, thanks, I just need approval, or whatever you say during sex. I'm not sure. And I have been trying to meditate now to get a handle on my feelings, but I think oral sex with women is better than like you're focused, you're in the zone. There's nothing else. There's no, you know what I mean? You can't be down there and just be like, is it recycling night? Like, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? You're at the center of the universe, focus, you're where we all came from. And slow down. That's my advice for everybody. Slow down. It's not an ice cream cone and it's not going to melt. So if there's any takeaway from my few minutes of very vulnerable material, please let it be that. And I'm done.
Yay! Did you just go down to have oral sex with someone?
What is happening? Who's operating your camera?
Why did you go down?
Okay, I got you. You didn't think we'd be pitching to you? I'm pitching you. Okay, here's what I love, because as you were describing like lesbian porn, to me it feels like it was made. Most lesbian porn is made by men for men. Like, they don't get it. Like, there's something that, like, I think your angle on that, and it's not really a joke, but it's just the angle that, like, I wish they're not making it for me. Like, it should only be made by lesbians for lesbians.
It's like it's like a push to like have American made things again.
Yes.
Or Canadian made.
Or Canadian made. The other thing I was saying is that I love when you use like really high end words to describe porn. You're like, I don't know that I'm a fan of the pegging milieu. The more you can do that, the more like I 5 of those in there,
Yes.
And I think, and I'm not going to pat myself on the back too soon on this, but I think I have an applause break connection for meditating and oral sex.
Yes.
I mean, oral sex for me is like meditation. In both instances, I'm saying, and
I'm hoping that I don't fall asleep.
That is so great.
I'm making the noise.
Guys, what a gift. Thank you so much.
Use that.
You got to
They're
write
so good. It's so funny. I mean, your jokes about a judge treating it like it's amazing because, and I found this to be about your comedy when I've watched it, that like it is at once extraordinarily specific, extraordinarily your experience, but it is not exclusionary. Okay. So here you are ripping on white dudes. We're 2 white guys, and I'm like, I'm with you. Yeah, every judge needs to go harder on sex offenders. Like, stop. Don't get on sexual harassment.
Go so hard on sexual offenders that they feel violated.
Yeah. Take away their thing.
Their right to say no. Yeah, it's so good. I love that there's writing in your stuff all the way through. In the setup, there's some we very much try to do that in everything we do, which is like, okay, this is a setup to a joke, but we can still slide a couple laughs in the setup that the bridge that
fun on
takes
the
you
way
to
there.
Yeah.
Right.
Guys, what a gift. Thank you so much. And I know this one needs to move on, but I was in line behind one of you at Trader Joe's on Wednesday night. You're with the lovely lady.
Me.
Randy?
Was that me? Yeah. So
yeah.
Were you in Silver Lake?
In Silver Lake. And we're all in masks, but and I didn't want to get in your zone. Pardon me?
You should have shouted at me.
Next time I will. I'm sure I'll see you there again. It's my go-to Trader Joe's.
Nice. Mine too. Well, stay safe. I'm glad you're quarantining with someone. This is really good.
Keep writing, keep coming up with great stuff. And
we will have you on our podcast. We'd love to have
awesome.
And people can still catch your Netflix
comedians
special
around the world, right? That's
still
up.
I think you have to search for comedians of the world, and I'm first up in the Canada section. So check it out.
It was
good.
It was a great
set.
special. I loved everything. I love what you were wearing. I loved how calm and cool you were, and I loved your opening statement, like about the closer. That was such a great bit. So I highly recommend everyone who's watching this to go watch that. Deanne Smith, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This is like a mini therapy session. I needed it.
I feel good. I feel great.
Thanks.
All right, we'll see you. Bye.
So funny,
amazing. And again,
I love it. Good tag on your part, Randy.
Right? I was like, I don't want to pat myself on the back.
We're rolling up our short sleeves and digging into some of these tags.
All right, let's get to our last act. He is amazing. He is someone.
Thank you, by the way, everyone, for sticking with us through any technical difficulties.
Yeah, we're sorry about that.
We appreciate you guys. We're going to do this every Friday night.
I want to mention the shows again that are coming up, just so you know, because they're great shows. On Mondays, New Bits for the Afterworld, hosted by Rosebud Baker. Fantastic show. That's 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern time, and whatever Mountain. And
Wednesdays, Characters Welcome.
Just a really cool character show. And again, it's JFL. They do such great work. If you've ever been to the Montreal Comedy Festival, you know they only choose the best of the best of the best people to do their things. And then, of course, our show, Sklarantine Comedy Hour, we're the exceptions. 5 p.m. Pacific.
Settle for us. And if you want to donate to the artist, once again, go to tickly.co/justforlaughs. We recommend $5 for the show. If you want to give more, give more. If you can't give, then we understand. We just appreciate you being here. This last comic is we were going to Denver and we were trying to get our buddy Adam Caton Holland to perform with us, and he couldn't do it. And so we said, hey, who's your first choice? Who should we call to have a feature for us? And he said, there's a guy by the name of Aaron Urist. And once you work with him, you will not want to stop working with him. And he was right.
He was right. We took Aaron to Austin with us. He featured for us there. We've taken him other places with us. He is fantastic. He's one of our favorite comedians because he too writes great, complicated, interesting bits.
Yes.
And we're going to bring him on the show right now. Aaron Urist, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Look at that quarantine stash.
Hey, dude. Yeah, man. Look at that. Well, yeah. Look at that. That's what I've been doing.
You look amazing, man. How are you?
I'm okay, man. I've just been really concentrating on trying to push this out of my body.
Yeah.
Just trying to make that. That's what I've mostly been doing.
You've done great. I mean, in the pantheons of stashes, you're
somewhere between narc and cop who's trying not to look like a narc.
My girlfriend, I've been self-conscious about this mustache because it's terrible, and she sent me a picture of Prince, who also had a terrible mustache, and she was like, "See,
yeah,
it can be good." And I was like, "You only have to pull this one off. You just have to be the god of sex." I'm on my way there.
Just have to be able to play guitar like Jimi Hendrix, dance like Michael Jackson, and die before you're 55.
Exactly. Well, I got one of those things down.
Go for it, buddy.
Yeah, I've been trying out the mustache. I've been cutting my own hair a little bit. I've just been sort of exploring my body. You know what I mean? I think you know what I mean.
Yes.
You know, once your usual passions don't take up all of your time, you have to find new passions.
Sure.
You have to find room inside yourself for those new passions, specifically in the rear area.
Yeah.
I've found, like, once you can no longer put everything you have into what you do, you just start putting everything you have into yourself. And that's what I've mostly been doing.
Yeah.
Lots of butt stuff. No.
Yeah.
It's fun. I talked to my uncle the other day, and it made me feel better about how my quarantine is going. He's like going through a divorce during quarantine, which is really fucked up. And I talked to him, and it was like a bummer because uncles are a wild card on a good day. I talked to him, and he was like, "I can't believe she would do this to me now. She treated me like a dog." And that is a very funny phrase that I don't think holds up anymore. Like maybe back in the day when people were mean to dogs, but people are way too nice to their dogs now for that to mean anything.
Yeah.
Like if somebody broke up with me and I was like, she treated me like a dog. She fed me ham. She knitted me a little sweater. She talked to me like a baby. She carried me everywhere. It's like, that's not bad. That sounds good. Sounds like a good life for you.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about politics, which was bad. That was a bad thing. He's like trying to be cool, but he's not doing a good job. He's one of those guys who's like, I don't care what people do, man. You can do whatever you want. I just want to have all my rights. I want to carry a gun to my best gay friend's wedding. And I was like, you shouldn't do that. That's a bad idea. Don't do that. Like, with respect to your good intentions, a middle-aged white guy with a ponytail and an AR-15 might send the wrong message at that particular event. Because, like, I know you want to carry a gun to your gay friend's wedding because you're cool, but there's also a lot of people out there who look exactly like you who want to bring a gun to that gay wedding because they're not cool at all.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's pretty much what they've got going on. Like your gay friends don't want to spend their wedding explaining your bullshit to their terrified guests. It's not very fun. Like, no, he's not going to hurt anyone. He's just trying to prove a point of some kind. I don't know what. That's mostly, I've been talking to him and writing jokes about it. And they were okay.
Those are good. I love it.
Dude, I'm going to tell you right now, the bit about treating me like a dog, you can keep going. She got me groomed at a nice place every 2 weeks. She argued that
she cut my nails. Do you understand how emasculating that is?
Yeah. She expressed my anal glands.
Well, hang on a second. That was really uncool. She expressed my anal. If you did it later, if you flip-flopped it at the end, you expressed my anal glands at my best friend's gay wedding, which actually they loved. They loved.
They thought that was part of
that actually saved everything. But I actually think the guy with the gun at the wedding, the gay friend having to explain everything, and everything that person says to defend him digs a deeper hole. He just wants to be able to do what he wants. You know,
it's just civil. Is he the security for the? No. He's just
he's just trying to look. He might be trying to hunt down Carol Baskin. I don't know.
I don't even know she did it. I love it, man. How's Denver right now in this?
It's okay. You know, people are doing more than you would expect them to do.
You'd want them to do,
barbecuing. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, but hanging in there.
How about the comedy community? It's one of our favorite comedy communities in the world. Denver has a great one. How are people? Yeah. How are you hanging with your peeps out there? Are you guys like on group chats? Are you doing shows, and what are you doing?
Group chatting, Zoom meetings, stuff like that. Yeah, I think we're sort of handling it the way that everybody is handling it, just trying to find ways to be together, even though we can't be together.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just excited that for the time. I'll be excited for the time we can go back out on the road, bring you back out to some of our favorite places, because
me too, man.
The other thing I love about doing comedy with you is you'll pitch us stuff and we'll use it. Like we'll do stuff in the early show and you'll pitch us something and we'll do it in the late show. Likewise, you'll come off stage.
I love seeing that.
What if you did this and then you do it in the next? That's what I love about. That's a great.
You have no fear when it comes to trying something. You're like, even though this isn't going to be fully baked yet, and this room is packed. I'm that's not a humble brag that we packed.
Humble brag,
but on a Saturday night,
pack the room.
Not because of us, but just a packed room. There's a moment where I'm like, "Oh, I'm so glad he tried that," because he got it to 60% now. Next show, it's going to be at 75. By the end of this weekend, that bit is going to be like a shiny little diamond in his set. So I love it, man.
Hell yeah!
All right, my brother. Yeah. Say hi to your girlfriend. We love her. Please send her.
I will. He says hello.
And we'll be in touch. We'll make it out of this thing, man. But I'm so happy.
Thank you for
thank you for having me. This was great.
All right. Aaron Urist,
everybody.
There we go. Thank you to Beth Stelling, Nick Thune, Deanne Smith, Aaron Urist. This was a blast. We're going to do this every Friday for the next couple of Fridays.
Sorry we dropped out for a minute, but we appreciate you guys. Thank you, JFL, for giving us a chance and a place to do this every Friday night. Here's the deal. We miss doing comedy, and we know you guys who are watching miss watching comedy. So we're going to bring that together and try to do it as best we can every week. And also, pull up the curtain and talk to some comics and find out how they're doing. It's kind of midway between a stand-up show and a podcast. We appreciate you coming along for the ride, and come on back. Bring other people. Make it a big event every Friday night. This is your new church, damn it.
That's right. Sklarantine Comedy Hour. Thank you, JFL. Thank you, Spencer Griffin. Thank you, Bruce Hills. Thank you, everybody who helped make this possible. And we are out. See you guys.
Adios.
Stay safe.
Fun.